We are joined today by a panel of NASCAR Xfinity Series drivers who will be competing in tomorrow's My Bariatric Solutions 300 here at the newly repaved and reconfigured Texas Motor Speedway. It's the My Bariatric Solutions 300.
You're supposed to know that, Brent.
I'm really sorry. I've been out of the country. What are bariatrics, so I can talk about it?
You might want to Google it.
I need to Google that. Sorry.
There you go. So we have we are joined here by Brendan Gaughan, driver of the number 62 South Point Hotel and Casino Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing. Daniel Henric, teammate, driver of the 21 Smoky Mountain Herbal Snuff Chevrolet, and then Brennan Poole, driver of the number 48 DC Solar Chevrolet for Chip Ganassi Racing. Brendan, I'm going to start with you. Newly reconfigured, repaved track.
Hey, bariatrics, it's something for me.
There you go. It's right in your wheelhouse, my friend.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's right. So is a newly repaved racetrack like Texas Motor Speedway. The last time they repaved this place, you had a pretty good run here.
Yeah, that's my PR guy told me that when we started our 4-race win streak, that was right after they did the reconfiguration of Turn 4 and the repave. So if history serves well, that sounds good for me. Yeah. I love Texas. Each configuration. I was here in 1997 with Butch Miller and Walker Evans Racing back in the original truck days, testing, building shocks for him, if you can believe that.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, no wonder Butch wasn't very good here. I was building the shocks. And so I've been here through all the different configurations of this track, and no matter what, I love Texas. It fits my style, and I can't wait to see what they did.
Okay, Daniel, what's it like to have a teammate like Brendan who's been through this process before that give you the kind of advice that you need to go out and attack this racetrack?
Obviously we always give each other a hard time, but it is good to have a guy like that who's been through so many different transformations of racetracks and different surfaces and configurations. So it's just an asset and a tool for us as teammates at RCR to lean on.
Tool being keyword.
Yeah, tool. Yeah, and just gives us something else to look into and try to pick his brain about. I know once we get out of here, I'll have him hemmed up somewhere, just going through little stuff to look for the first run or two out. And at the end of the day, we just got to tiptoe into it, kind of like Jimmy said in here before us, and just try to figure out what those limits are. But leaning on a guy who's been through it a couple of times will be a huge help for us.
Now, Brennan, being the Texan and coming here away from the racing surface, you got a really cool opportunity yesterday to go to Waco into Magnolia Farms and be the envy of all the ladies in here to visit with the Fixer Upper folks.
Yeah, Lindsay was a little bummed that she wasn't here for that, but I watched the show. The stuff that Chip and Joanna Gaines are doing in Waco is pretty incredible to see, and just the energy and the kindness and everything that goes on over there. The stuff they're doing for the people of the town is just pretty. It's just impressive. It's almost like overwhelming in a way when you first get there. But it was cool. Yeah, I got some cupcakes. I mean, I did like the whole deal, man. It was good. They took us around the tour. We saw the silos. We got to go up on the roof. You could see all of Baylor and all of the downtown area of Waco. And so it was a lot of fun. I also got to make my annual trip to Whataburger. So we don't have that on the East Coast where I live now. So I got to make a stop in there. And it was just fun, and it was cool to be back in my home state.
Okay. We'll open the floor up for questions. If you have questions for these gentlemen, raise your hand. We'll get a wireless microphone to you. We will start here with Bob and then go to Joe.
Bob Pockris, ESPN. Brendan, obviously you're wearing the shirt, so I figured knew you were going to get this question. What do you think of Ewing being new coach?
I forgot I was wearing it. I just grabbed a shirt this morning. I'm ecstatic about it. I said from before I left town that I support the Thompsons through and through, and I would have rather had JT3 get another year at it. But I've talked to 3 and spoke to him, and I spoke to the some of the stuff around there, and I'm ecstatic. I mean, I think that if you're a kid and you want to come to a program that you're looking for what it's going to do, you have a coach that says we're going to play a form of basketball that they play in the league right now with a coach that's been an assistant head coach for 5 years in the league right now, and you're going to walk into a kid's home and Patrick Ewing is going to be the guy recruiting you. I think that those are all huge things for Georgetown. I can't wait to see what Coach does. And Patrick said it in his deal. He's smart enough to know that he needs to get really good people around him to make sure that he does the things right, that take up for the stuff that he's not as good at. So Patrick will do that. The staff will assist him, and I'm excited to see what happens with my Hoyas.
Recruiting coordinator Brendan Gaughan there. Let's go to Joe.
Joe Menzer, FoxSports.com. Daniel, I understand that you weren't really a big fan of cowboy hats before an event that you went to last night, and now perhaps you are. Can you talk a little bit about that event and how it went?
Absolutely, that was really cool. Actually, I got to meet the president of Smoky Mountain Herbal Snuff, who's on our car here this week at Texas, and Dave Savoca was just an incredibly nice guy, and we teamed up and went to, I think the Best Hats was the name of it, and it's got to be the Best Hats, right? Their name's on it, and incredible experience. I mean, you go in, you just see this thing, it looks in the form of a hat, but they shape it for you, they mold it to your head, make it fit, just perfect. And I told him, I said, man, if you're getting a hat early like that, it's got to be a good omen for the weekend. So I'm a good, big fan of the hats, and hopefully we can have another one here this weekend.
We're going to go to the left here to Drew, and then we'll come back over here to Chris.
Brennan, Drew Davison with the Four Star Telegram. Do you feel like this is your home track, so to speak, and how much confidence are you coming in here with a pair of 8th place runs? Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, this is my home track. I grew up racing here. I've raced every track at Texas Motor Speedway, and I've won at all of them, but the big track yet. So, I remember being here for the very first race ever. I sat in the stands off a turn, pretty close to the start finish line, but off turn 4, and so. I've been able to watch the track grow, and I feel like I've been a little bit a part of that, since I, started the first car I ever drove where you could shift gears was at the 5th mile at the backstretch when I got in a legend car when I was 12. So, I feel like, it's always cool for me coming here because I have a lot of friends and family that come up and watch the race. I got friends that are camping in the infield, and I got guys I used to race with that are racing at the dirt track tonight in the sprint cars. So I'll probably go over there and watch a little bit this evening. But, so for me, it's just fun, and it would be very special for me to get my first Xfinity win here on Saturday. I think it would be just a really cool thing for me to say I've won every track at Texas Motor Speedway, and to do it at a place that I grew up and I came here for the first race ever. So it would be pretty special.
Go to the middle here to Chris.
Chris Knight, GetchFence.com. Daniel, after 5 races, your average finish is 14th. I was just wondering if you could assess your first 5 races with the team, and then for all you guys, I was just wondering if you could talk about if you like stage racing.
For kind of answer that question backwards, I am a fan of the stage racing because it's allowed our 14th place average finish points-wise to be better than what we've averaged for a finish, if that makes sense. So we're able to maximize some of those stages and get those points to better our season total, but we're definitely not satisfied with that average finish. I know as a company and as a group, especially my 21 guys, I feel like we've performed better at that, a lot better than that at times, and the finishes haven't shown. So we had our 5-week evaluation with RC this week and went through kind of things that we can capitalize on to make sure that we make the qualifying efforts correlate with the finishing position, which we haven't done a very good job of. So I think after that meeting, we're going in the right direction. Hopefully we can continue to improve upon that.
Brendan, what do you think of stage racing?
I've been a big fan of it. I said at the start of the season, let's wait till we play it out and see what people think. And so far, we've been on Phoenix, kind of a pseudo short track. We've been at Daytona. We've been at California. We have seen it change the way crew chiefs think. We've seen it really change the way even some of us drivers will approach it if something goes wrong early. I love the volatility of the points. With the playoff system, I don't care that we've had a struggle in the points with the West Coast swing. It means very little nowadays. So I'm very happy about that. And I think stage racing has done more than I expected it. I was not expecting the changes, especially on the crew chief side, that you'd be able to do. And it's really been neat to see it. I think it's going to be a pretty big game changer, especially when you get towards the playoff rounds. I think that's going to really play into a lot of people's minds, and you can gain a lot of points without having to win a race to move up or down in a playoff position.
Brendan, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's been good for me. I know even at Daytona, I just finished in 3rd in that first stage and getting those points, and then to later get crashed at the end of the second stage. I left there not really that far behind, and then the next week I was in the top 10 in points or something. So for me, that part of it's been kind of cool because you're never really out of it if you have a good week. So, and then no offense to you, Daniel, but at California, I finished in the top 10 both stages. I think you missed out on one of them or not,
yeah.
and then I passed him in the points that week. So, There's a lot of stuff moving around and going on. I think it's kind of cool that there's some more emphasis on points, because for the past several years it's all been just wins, and I think showing that now you have to run in the top 10 and in each of the stages every single week to accumulate points. I think it kind of shows who's a little bit more consistent throughout the year. So for me, I like that part of it because I feel like consistency in a championship is something that needs to have some importance.
Additional questions for these gentlemen? Go for it, Chris.
Just, they're Bristol next, and it's not only stage racing, it's the dash for cash race. Does that mean that the racing is going to be more intensity, or if you can make the racing better?
And Bristol's pretty intense as it is. You don't need to add anything to the intensity of Bristol. It's pretty intense as it is. We'll see, though. I mean, you can't play many pit strategies there unless cautions actually fly. It's not like Daytona where guys were trying to pit 2 laps before the window, to stay out to gain the, it's not like that strategy is going to play into mind. But if there's a caution at the right time, you could try, pitting but the racing at Bristol, it's intense enough. I don't think you need any help, but it definitely, when it's $100,000 on the line, and for is it Justin has a chance at $1 million still right now, doesn't he? If he wins that one, he still is in the running for $1 million. So I think Justin has a lot of reasons to keep that intensity up.
Brennan, what do you think about the Dash for Cash coming up here at Bristol Motor Speedway?
Yeah, Bristol's tough. It's going to be interesting with that stuff. I forget what it's called. They spray on the bottom of the track, but I heard they're doing that again. So I think it's going to be interesting how that changed. I know, like for our race last year, it kind of just went away and we all started running the top. But it's going to be, I think that part of it's going to be a little bit interesting to see what happens. But, you just have to be smart and try to make the most out of your day and the most out of your race car and try to put yourself in a position to win the Dash for Cash. But most importantly, I think all of us just kind of approach it as a normal race, and we're just trying to go in and win the race and, get those stage bonus points. And, if you're in the hunt for that Dash for Cash, then go attack it and try to win it. But for the most part, like I know with our team and our guys, we're just going to approach it like any other race and try to put the best race car we can on the track and try to put ourselves in a position to win the race.
Daniel, if you win the $100,000, do you have any special plans?
Being recently
Maybe
married.
money owe me?
Yeah, there you go. Being recently married, the wife's on me about building her a house, so that'd definitely be a huge help in that direction.
Well,
but
he can get you some fixer-upper advice.
there you go. That's actually where she's at
Probably
today.
give him a call.
Yeah, I might be in trouble by the time we end the practice today with her being there. But it would definitely be a huge step in that direction. But, we missed out on the opportunity at Phoenix to put ourselves in the position to race for the Dash for Cash. So we got a little chip on our shoulder going to Bristol. I feel like we'll have a really solid shot at being able to lock into one of those positions and be able to race for it at the end of the deal, and look forward to take advantage of it.
Okay. Additional questions for these gentlemen? Guys, thanks for taking the time today. Good luck in tomorrow's My Bariatric Solutions 300.
Thank you.